You're listening to the Black Minds Matters podcast in association with WCEN. Hey, I hope you're all blessed wherever you are. You are listening to the Black Minds Matters podcast show. My name's Peaks and I hope you're all good. I'm also here with my technician, if you want to have a little...
Yeah, what's good, it's Mr. X, and we're on lockdown and a neighbour's next door lawn mowing as we're doing this podcast. Don't know if you can hear it, but if you can hear something going on in the background on neighbour's lawn mowing, it's just how it is, isn't it? You can't,
it's how it is.
It's not, you can't do nothing about it, basically, stuff. But if you can't hear it, it's all good, so yeah, boom.
Yeah, you still got to maintain your garden whilst you're on lockdown and whatever, but it's quite therapeutic. But anyway, if you hear it, that's what the buzzing is. All right, so, I mean, the reason for this podcast show, if you're listening for the first time, is to just raise the spirits and have a diversity of young voices that are currently not being heard, for us to share our needs and experiences, what's happening in the community, because we're all going through something at this point in time. The world is pretty much in a similar situation. We're all kind of on lockdown, but we want to use this platform here to share the voices of people who are maybe working in the front line on the NHS, who are entrepreneurs, who are just people in your neighborhood who have really got something that they kind of want to share with us at this time to keep productive, to keep uplifted, and to just share general tips, advice, and stories. So that's what we're going to be talking about here on this platform. So we have a caller who's going to be joining us. His name is Mini Haye. He's a recording artist. He's from South London, but he also kind of working on the front line now as well. He is an administrator for a gynecologist department in London. So I'm just going to get him on the line now. He's ready for us.
Hello.
Mini Haye, it's Pete.
Hello. How you doing, Pete?
I'm good. How are you? Have you just woke up? Are you all right?
Look, I'm sure, man. The voice has gotten deep over the years.
It's gotten deep. Okay, just we're just talking about over the years because I do know many from back in the day. But
Back Channel U days.
Channel U. If you know, you
days.
know.
Oh my days. I have to say again, basically, a lot of our callers, basically, a lot of people that have been interviewed, we've been saying how multi-talented they are. Even though they're they're doing their thing, they're kind of keeping things moving. They've got families and work, but they're still kind of like extremely talented. And this young man over here, I'd have to say, is like, as a lyricist, he's always been on point. You know what I mean, and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about what you're doing as well as a living, and also about your music as well today. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, actually.
I'm sure we're all looking forward to it.
Man.
Well, so
thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Bless, man. Always a pleasure, man.
Always a pleasure. Especially, I'm sure some of the ladies out there will appreciate that deep voice you got going on there. It's always nice to hear on lockdown. A nice, soothing, manly voice.
It's a lockdown, isn't it? Man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lockdown. I need to get out. No, I'm not going to. I've been out, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay,
didn't mean to jump straight into it, but I know there's a lockdown, but for me, it's like...
You're on the front line, bruv, aren't you?
Yeah.
There's no lockdown for me. I've been out every day since.
Okay. So let's take it from the beginning. Okay, give us a history about what it is you do. This is before everything kicked off. You know what I mean? It's been about six weeks now since the kind of beginning of all this, basically, and maybe a little bit less.
Well, for me personally, it's been a lot because I'm a music artist and I'm an R&B hip hop recording artist, but at the same time, I work in the hospital.
So what's your kind of... If you can give us a little history of your profession there, yeah?
Yeah, so in regards to the hospital, I work as an administrator in gynecology. So I've been there for a few years.
What part of London do you work in?
In Chelsea.
Chelsea, okay. And where do you actually live? You're from South London. What part of South?
South. Brixton.
Brixton scene, okay.
Yeah, so everyone knows Brixton. So from heart of South London. So, yeah, man, there's been a lot happening. But to be perfectly honest with you, I kind of left the country due to personal life circumstances just when everything kicked off. So I wasn't really in it when it happened. I left, went to Jamaica for my mom's funeral because she sadly passed.
Okay, well, sorry to hear that. Is that your heritage?
Yeah.
What's your kind of...
yeah, so I just brought my mum home. She passed here in the UK, I brought her home. So yeah, and I literally came back after the funeral, and everything was happening while I was actually out there. I didn't even know if I would be able to come home.
Did you actually hear? How did you hear the news about what was happening back here in the UK?
It was on the news, and everyone just messaged me via WhatsApp saying everyone's taking all the food from the shops. I'm thinking, what's happening? Because out here it's okay. You know, they're saying there's no toilet paper. I'm like, this just sounds like some crazy pandemic.
Bruv, it was peak, fam. It was
you know,
peak.
To me, it sounded like a movie. That I was like, I'm in sunshine. As much as I was in Jamaica for, a sad reason, that world was still normal out there. And then over a duration of time, because I was there for 2 weeks, by the second week, it all changed out there as well.
Oh, okay. It started to trickle over there as well.
Yeah, eventually.
Before you left, did you say, or as you came back?
No, before I left, nothing was happening, man. I think I briefly heard a little something, but it didn't affect us in any way. It was by the second week I was in Jamaica that everything kind of kicked off.
Okay. Yeah.
And I saw the videos. I was like, wow.
Did you manage to get home all right? Was there any problems with travel?
Yeah, definitely. The people I was with, their flights got cancelled.
Oh, no.
But yeah, by the grace, everyone that I was with, all of our flights was fine. And we got to come home.
Right.
And yeah, man, it's just crazy. Even up to now, it's a bit of a shock for everyone, I don't think anyone knows how to function. Everyone's a bit, is this real? Is this not real?
Wow.
But then I think it's just a lot. It's a lot, and the media's got a lot to play in it.
Okay.
But then at the same time, we can see what's happening. People are dying from this, regardless of whether we like to believe or not. So people can't be dying for no reason.
Same. So what exactly is it you're doing in regards to your work? What is your day-to-day
Well, in regards to my day-to-day basis, I'm just keeping the emergency appointments still running because there's still people that are sick, regardless. So people if they tend to think that it's only COVID patients that are getting taken care of, but there's still people that have serious illnesses that can affect them. So there's emergency appointments that are still happening. So we're just taking care of those, to be honest with you. I'm not dealing with the positive COVID patients.
Okay.
I'm just dealing with all the emergency patients. Regardless of that, Is
that particular age groups, or is that kind of anybody in general who's coming to the hospital?
That's just anybody. And then it's not, I don't work in pediatrics, so it's not children. So it is adults. It's all the adult patients.
Okay. Is your hospital busy with people who have got viruses, or did you say it's still kind of how it is, or is it anything changed?
We've got a lot of patients that are positive, and the numbers are growing as well. So I know wards are increasing to store space. Cause I know our hospital is pretty large, so I've heard that we're taking in more patients, and it is a bit scary because I have to come to work every day, and I don't know. For me, I'm just, it keeps you preoccupied.
Right.
It keeps you preoccupied, and you feel as though you're doing something as well to give back. And yeah, I think it's good. I don't really live in fear. I know everybody's different, but for me personally, it's a good thing,
Same.
By all means, it's a good thing for you mentally as well to keep yourself proactive, because in this time, I think a lot of people are going to be in this space, isolated, and mentally it's not going to do them any good. They're not going to know what to do with themselves. If they're not a creative person, they don't draw, they don't paint, they don't write, they don't read. They might take their mind somewhere else. So I think it's going to affect a lot of people in a lot of different ways, which is going to be sad.
So what advice could you give people, basically? Because obviously you're a man that's in there and stuff, and you get to see a little bit more than what the average person gets to see. So what advice would you give? Like the audience, our audience is generally a young audience, basically, and they're looking for advice and guidance and stuff. So what kind of advice could you give people that just stuck at home and stuff like that?
Regardless, I would say find a way to keep yourself productive mentally. Find something that can keep you productive, man. Let's keep yourself going until such time and this all blows over. But it's a very serious situation. I don't think everyone should take it, it's a very serious situation. And everyone should stay at home. If you don't need to stay at home, it should be for a very serious reason. If you're not doing anything to help out, stay at home, because that's a lot. By staying at home, it's helping a lot. You're helping yourself and helping everyone around you. So That's the best thing about do. But for yourself, mentally keep yourself productive.
So do you have any kind of tips on how you kind of keep productive, or what the average
Well, for me, I'm
person
an
is?
artist. As a recording artist for myself, I'm trying to still work on a project that I was working on beforehand. So I've even started writing a track that I thought could kind of help uplift everybody in this time. So that's what I'm working on personally. It's kind of keeping me kind of just something to kind of bring everyone together. So I've got that sort of bit of a little sound I'm working on. So hopefully that can kind of uplift everyone in due course.
So, I mean, like, we haven't really spoken about this with anyone at the minute. You being able to juggle music and your business,
And the personal.
what are the challenges? I mean, like,
It's not easy, my friend.
I can imagine, fam. And really, what is your end goal for your music? Is it just a hobby, or are you looking for it to reach out to a wide audience? What is your goal? And tell us the challenges, especially now.
Balancing it.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And I think on a personal level, I will always pursue music and keep on consistently doing everything I want to do because I love it regardless, And I think on a business level, we just have to respect that it does take money in order to do the things that are necessary. With everything, with music, even work, everything you're doing, you need money just to keep it going and to bring it back in. So it's hard to juggle them both. And your personal life, you've got family, you've got, the things that matter the most to you. And then you've got all this craziness happening in the world. You've got to juggle it. But I think the key in all of it, and what I say to everyone, is just balance. Just try and find that balance in everything that you do.
Work-life
balance. And that's some good advice, actually, because obviously a lot of people are trying to juggle, as you say, and it's not easy.
And then it's like, how? But how do you do that? How do you balance it all?
Yeah.
And just take a step back, and just breathe and just take a step at a time and see what works and put a certain amount of energy into what is working more. And you find a way.
So what regarding music, what have you put out? Have you got anything currently out, or is it something?
You found me you caught me in a moment where there's a lot happening.
I hope you weren't writing, were you?
You caught me in a crazy moment. I'm literally moving home and everything.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm doing so much at the moment. So I've got a lot happening, but at the same time I'm working on the EP. I'm putting out an EP which should be out shortly.
Do you have a title for that?
Yeah, I've definitely got a title for that. Like this.
Can you share it?
It's like this.
Oh, it's like this.
It's like this.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this.
I've heard that one. I've got inside knowledge. I've heard that one already.
I know, yeah. But we're going to let them know a bit more about that in due course, Pete.
Yeah, of course.
For definite.
Of course.
But we got that, but there's a lot that's meant to be happening. I've got a few shows happening. I was meant to be, I had a overseas show in May in Portugal, but due to the corona, highly doubt that will be happening. Yeah. I was meant to be going to America, had something else, but everything will most probably be postponed. So it affects music in that way as well.
Yeah.
So,
have you looked at some, a lot of people are like, I'm going to keep this moving. I'm going to film a music video in the house. I'm going to use some kind of app that's going to keep my video and personal message out there. Are you kind of using any kind of platforms to kind of keep your message going? And if so, can you share some of that with us?
Yeah, because I'm waiting for the launch of the project. As soon as I launch the EP, which will be very shortly, in less than a month, then we've kind of got a bit of marketing that's going to come straight after that. But I don't really want to lay it all out too much. A bit of a surprise.
Selling the hush.
Of course.
Yeah, everyone's going to, we'll be there. I'll be there. Everyone will see me, you know. So
last question now. Based on these events that's happened, basically, and stuff, and I know you've had a lot happen to you over the last couple of weeks and stuff, and also seems to be carrying on now, telling me you're about to move house as well. So you've been through a lot and doing a lot. Has this all changed your perspective of life now, or is it just the same before? How do you view things now, based on the last?
I don't know. It's a bit crazy, you know. I don't know. I don't really want to scare everyone, but at the same time, for me personally, I felt as though something drastic would have occurred in the world. I didn't know what it would be, I always felt as though something will happen. Very alarming.
Same.
And the way I live my life in general, it doesn't really affect it. If I didn't work in the hospital, I wouldn't be going to work. I would be at home, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. Because that's just my life anyway. I just stay at home and I work, or I go to the studio, or I work, I'll stay at home with my family. That's it. So it doesn't really change much for me personally. So, isolation, it's okay. I think everyone needs to be okay with themselves, kind of just find that peace in themselves and be at one with themselves, give themselves that time to know themselves.
Yeah, we're hearing that a lot now. Everyone's on this kind of like chill, use this time.
Yeah, man. Use that time to
sit back and
love you and, know you a bit.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, I like them kind of wise words there still.
I look forward to hearing that on the EP.
You get a bit spiritual on them a little bit, But, yeah, man. You have to sometimes a little enlightenment. Yeah, man.
That's it. All right, so thank you. Have you got any social medias that maybe people can check out? Hear a bit more maybe when those events start happening again for you?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone can check me out on my website, minihaye.com. So as soon as the EP comes out, there'll be a lot out on the website, but also on Instagram at Mini Haye, Twitter at Mini Haye, literally everything.
Mini Haye.
MINI, Haye.
Okay.
Mini Haye.
We'll get all that information in the description. But man's professional coming with a website already. You know what I mean? You got to step things up after this. It's 2020 now. You got to have your own website, not just social media platform.
Yeah. Much love, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, bro.
Guys. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah,
It's been nice talking to you guys.
Absolutely, fam.
And just look after yourself in this time. And yeah, man, just keep positive and just keep creative.
Thank you, bro. Same to you, brother. Keep safe, bro.
All right. All the best for the launch and moving forward.
All right, bro.
All right, take care.
All right, take care.
Much love.
Bye.
Bless.
I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. There's more to come. But if you want to keep in touch with us, or if you want to leave any feedback or tips on your experience, then please drop your comments down below, or you can email us on info@blackmindsmatters.co.uk. We also have information, videos. You can sign up to the newsletter on the website, which is www.blackmindsmatters.co.uk. And obviously, if you want to keep abreast of what the latest healthcare developments are from the government and what the guidelines are, then please make sure that you go and check out www.gov.uk. And of course, everybody, I hope you've taken on board what's been said. If you want to find out more, then you can go and check out their website. But please keep yourself safe and keep yourself positive and uplifted. You're listening to the Black Minds Matters podcast in association with WCEN.